Pandemic boredom blues.
Pandemic boredom blues?
I mean, don't you have the pandemic boredom blues?
Yeah, there's only so much stuff you can do. I mean,
So that's why I started to look into the world of solo board games. And apparently, it's a growing thing, unsurprisingly, since almost the last year. And I relatively recently discovered one I really love, but it's not quite a board game. Kind of in part why I like it, and it's why I recommend it to people. And also because it's affordable and it's super small. It's what the company calls a wallet game. This is the game.
Holy crap.
This is Sprawlopolis. Sprawlopolis by Button Shy Games, operated by, I hope I'm pronouncing all these names right, Jason Tagmeyer, right here in New Jersey. So we always like to support our New Jersey folks. I actually bought this directly through them because it's as best as I'm aware, the only way you can get Button Shy games is through them. Sprawlopolis itself was designed by, again, forgive me with the name pronunciations, Stephen Aramini, David Devine, and Paul Kluka. It's sort of a combination between SimCity and a puzzle game. It's a city building game. The entire game, literally the whole game, is just this 18 card deck of cards. And it's terrific. I've played a lot of this. It's addictive, it's fun, it's challenging as hell. It's really easy to learn, but really difficult to master. Works like this. You got this deck of 18 cards, right? 3 cards get drawn. And each one of the 3 cards is going to have basically a goal on it. So, for instance, this one is Stacks and Scrapers. 2 points for every industrial block adjacent to only commercial or industrial blocks. What does that mean? Well, that's what's on the back of the cards. So you're going to draw 3 of these cards, you're going to set them aside, and that's going to basically tell you what your goals are for the game. The other side of the card, this isn't just the top of the cards, like a deck of playing cards and all that. You notice that every single one is different because these represent city blocks. I think a residential block, industrial block, commercial block, park block. I hope I'm pointing to the right. They're all zoned in different ways. Plus, you have roads that are running through them.
So they have to connect properly.
They don't have to, but that's part of the challenge of the game. So what you do is you have you lay down your 3 cards to tell you what you're supposed to do. And then you have a hand of your 3 cards, of these 3 cards, and you start laying them down. You have to lay them down horizontally, and you lay a card down, then you lay another card down to sort of either join up with it, or you can overlap it, but strictly on those rectangles, strictly on those squares. You can't put it under, you can't tuck it under, but you can overlap it. You can't do corner to corner, but you could do side to side in any way or overlap. And you just do that until you've exhausted the deck. And once you've played all cards, you count up your points and you're done. You get points by meeting whatever specific goals are on the back. If you have an industrial district that are 3 of them together, you get 3 points. If you have 4 parks together, you get 4 parks, etc. And then you lose points. You lose 1 point for every road, and a road is considered any unbroken stretch. So it's good to connect the roads because that means it's just 1 point you're losing. But the more like little fragments you leave, the more points you lose.
That's their way of penalizing you for not being able to connect the roads.
Exactly. So like it behooves you to make all these connections with the roads connected as best as you can in order to not lose too many points. And then you're just trying to reach a point goal at the end. Like in the beginning, when you choose your 3 goals, you can see in the corners of these numbers. You add up those numbers, and that's your point goal for that particular game. So in this case, it's like 6, 12, 3, 21 points that you're trying to get to. So you're trying to get 21 or better. And that's it. That's the whole game. Simple but challenging and addictive. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
You were about to ask something? I'm sorry.
I was going to say it very much reminds me of like Carcassonne and Solitaire.
Yeah, it's sort of like a combo of those 2 things. Games can be real fast. Yeah, you could play one out depending on how much you want to labor over it and think. And it's wonderful because literally the entire game is just this. And the possibilities are endless. I mean, I've played loads of games with this, and you never have the same challenge twice because there's 18 different challenges on the back, and you pick 3. So think about how many combinations that is, which means every time you're laying out a city, like you have to have different things in mind because sometimes these challenges like are slightly conflicting with one another. So you have to make decisions on what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And it's terrific. And the whole thing, $12. $12. It's really well designed. Came to me in the mail in no time in a little envelope. And I've been playing a lot of this, just like in between, like, you know what, I'm bored. I got 20 minutes to kill. Boom, boom, boom. Play a quick game, lay out a city. It's super fun when you are like, you're on a roll and like you're getting the roads to connect and your city actually looks cool. But then you're adding up the points and you're like, damn it, I didn't it wasn't a good layout because I wasn't able to meet the goals of the city. Technically, they say it's for 1 to 4 players because there are rules for co-op play. It's supposed to be this thing where like you have the deck and you're passing it from one person to the other. Like you're all together trying to build the city.
Nah.
No, I bought it for like just to play on my own. And what's neat is there's actually several expansions for it. There's an interstate expansion, which adds like interstate highways. There's the beaches expansion, which adds like sort of beachfront property and tourist property, points of interest and construction zones. And they all have like different rules and mix things up a bit. From the same designers, they also have Agropolis, which is basically like this sort of game, but it's agricultural stuff. It's like farmland and things like that. It's a fun, addictive little game that I've really enjoyed playing, and that fits in your wallet. Like it comes in this nice little wallet case.
It's travel size.
It's freaking awesome, dude. I love it. I love it. It's legitimately fun and addictive, and it's hard as hell. I've not won many games.
That's good that you don't win a lot then, because if you actually won a lot, you get bored with it.
You really have to think about what you're doing every single move, every card that you play. You have to really not only think about that card, but think a couple of hard cards ahead.
Right.
Looking at your hand, like, okay, well, if I do this and this, that
was what I was going to ask. So, can you look when you're putting them down? Can you look at the other cards you have that are coming up?
Yeah, you have a hand of 3, so you always know the 3 that you have, so you can play based on that, and you know what the next card to be drawn is because they're drawn face up. So you know what your 3 are, and you can play any one of those 3, and you know what that 4th card is. You don't know what the rest of the deck is,
right?
But yeah, you can make some decisions. Sort of like in Tetris, you can see the piece that's coming up.
Yeah, they put it on the side.
It's like that, where you can see the next one that's going to come into your hand, but you can't see what's under it.
Okay.
So you can sort of plan based on that, but it's a challenge. The people who have played and reviewed this review it very highly. It gets high accolades. I can tell you where I discovered it. Shut Up and Sit Down are the ones who they did a short review of this, and I said they did this, and I was like, that looks awesome, and I just immediately just got it and was happy I did. You want to talk about like pandemic games and solo games and stuff like this? Bang, baby. Yeah, so there you go. That's Sprawlopolis.
Wonderful. If you enjoyed this video and any of our other videos, like and subscribe. And we also have a Patreon at Nerd Out With Me Patreon if you want to see some stuff ahead of time or want to see special footage or Eric taking a shower.
Bye.